At the entrance of a crowded department store, the evening rush filled every aisle with noise and hurried footsteps. A young single dad, Ethan, a former Army veteran, held his daughter's small hand while trying to balance the groceries in his other arm. He wasn't expecting to get involved in anything beyond buying milk and a few essentials, but life had a way of throwing battles at him even outside the battlefield. Just as they were about to head toward checkout, a commotion near the exit made everyone pause. A woman in her late 30s, dressed in plain clothes, was being restrained by two security guards. Their voices grew louder as one of them accused her of shoplifting. People stopped and stared, pulling out phones to record, but no one stepped in to question if the accusation was fair. Ethan's daughter tugged at his sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, she looks scared." Ethan looked at the woman's eyes, sharp, steady, but clearly offended. Something wasn't right. The guards claimed she had slipped perfume bottles into her bag, but Ethan noticed her badge chain, half tucked under her jacket, glinting in the store's fluorescent light. He recognized that kind of chain: military, police, official. His instincts screamed that this woman was not what the guards assumed. The crowd began murmuring, some jeering, others recording with anticipation of drama. Ethan stepped forward, his deep voice cutting through the noise. "Hold on," he said firmly. "Before you humiliate her in front of everyone, did you even check her ID?" The guards frowned, dismissing him like he was just another shopper sticking his nose where it didn't belong. One of them snapped, "Mind your business, sir." She was caught red-handed. But Ethan didn't back down. He stood tall, shoulders squared the way he had in uniform. "I served this country for 12 years. I know when someone is lying. And I know when someone is being railroaded. You better check before you regret it." His tone was commanding, enough to make the crowd quiet for a moment. His daughter clutched his hand, proud but nervous. The woman, still restrained, finally spoke with controlled calmness. "If you'd bothered to look in my wallet, you'd see my badge. I'm Captain Rachel Myers, off duty. I came here after a 12-hour shift. I had my receipt in hand when your guard tackled me." Gasps rippled through the crowd. One of the guards stammered, while the other hesitated, finally checking her purse. Sure enough, the items had barcodes crossed out and a receipt folded neatly inside. The atmosphere shifted instantly. The crowd that had been ready to condemn her now muttered in shame. Ethan shook his head, his voice steady. "This is what's wrong with the world, too quick to judge, too quick to humiliate." No one stopped to ask. Everyone just wanted a show. Rachel's eyes softened as she looked at Ethan. She wasn't used to being the one defended, she was usually the protector. "Thank you," she said quietly, straightening her jacket. "You didn't have to do that." Ethan smiled faintly. "Yes, I did. Because once, when I came back from deployment, nobody stood up for me when I was misunderstood. I won't let that happen to someone else." Security apologized profusely, but the damage was already done. Rachel could have pressed charges, but she chose not to. Instead, she turned to the onlookers, many of whom still had their phones raised, and said, "Next time you see something like this, don't just record. Do the right thing." Later, outside the store, Rachel walked beside Ethan and his daughter. She bent down, smiling warmly at the little girl, and said, "Your dad is brave. Not just on the battlefield, but here too." The little girl beamed, squeezing her father's hand tighter. As Rachel and Ethan parted ways, there was an unspoken bond between them. Two protectors from different walks of life, united in principle. Ethan carried his groceries, his heart a little lighter, realizing that standing up for someone, even a stranger, could heal wounds no medal ever could. And to everyone watching this story, remember, true strength isn't about power or rank, it's about courage to do the right thing when no one else will. If you believe the world needs more voices like Ethan's, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes, the simplest act of standing up can change everything.